Greetings on a Tuesday, everybody. How you doing? Let's get right to it. Let's get to S&P 500, right into the charts. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody in Discord. Listen, just to let people know that I was in the Discord this morning. We were talking about a couple trades, and I'm going to be in there more. Just something where it's kind of been, I've been monitoring it on a passive basis, but let everybody know that for me, I'm going to be stepping into there more. And so you can interact with me directly. That is free, like just about everything else, except for some of the premium subscriptions. But again, I'm ready now in a way that I haven't been probably for quite some time. So check all of that out. And if you're not aware of the Discord or anything, become a basic member. And all that information's on the basic membership page. Definitely check that out. Get on Discord. Here, down here, where'd you go? Sorry, number 4 right here. And then hook up with us. Have to shout out to the moderators and everybody that is here and in the community. Super cool. That's how I want to keep it. Really want to keep it. My preference also for this community is to use harmonic pattern collection charts. If from time to time you want to post some charts, hey, I'm cool about it. Just don't give me shit when I ask you to do something nicely. We had a little incident today. That person was dispatched. FA, FO, that's my policy. But everybody here, you know, if you're here, you're cool. And let's keep it cool. I really mean that. There's a there's much bigger communities. If you want more people, more content, go there. What we do is very specific with harmonic patterns, harmonic pattern framework, and a fantastic interaction level, phenomenal help from so many people in the community that, I'm grateful for that. So let's just keep that vibe happening, and we will be able to do even better things than what we've accomplished in the last year or two with this community. Okay, let's get right to it. What's going on today? S&P's down. S&P off 45, 46. Nasdaq's only off, not even 100, and Dow's off. What are we looking at? About 135. Not too bad. Am I right about that? No, Dow's down 420. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong number. I'm looking at crude oil down $1.35. SPY's down at close to the lows of the day, but we were talking about this in the Discord of just a little short-term setup. We had a 5-minute pattern down here. We do have some 5-minute HSI dots. Doesn't look like it's going to hold, but that's your first 5-minute kind of a midday confirmation right there. What was, hold on one second. Where did that go? I must have turned that off. One moment. We had a crab pattern on a 5-minute. I don't know why it's not popping up. 1 second. I'll have to look. Here's the 5-minute pattern. We were discussing this in there this morning. Okay, and it literally it flashed a really strong type 2. So the first reaction after the big dump went right to target 1, no confirmation. And then I just said, all right, let's target this for the return back to the hop at 399.82, and that was the exact low. 399.78 so far. But yeah, should see a bounce. We should be seeing a bounce here, and at a pretty clear level for the day under the hop, under 399.82. Then you break into something larger. Where is that? I should show, I'm going to pop that up in a second. I'll show you what we were talking about in the Discord today. 1 second. We'll be back on Thursday, everybody. Giveaway Thursday, and those that did win, always you need to connect with Miss Stephanie on the Discord. Get into the Discord and join us there. Here we are. Yeah, okay, good. I was in there this morning. Tomorrow I'll be in here, but a little bit later. I usually have some things to do on Wednesday morning, but when did I first get in there? Here it is. Oh yeah, this was just to show everybody. So we were looking at this, looking for that type 1 reaction. That's where we first really started getting into it this morning. And hold on. Yeah, and so then looking for the eventual hop test, 399.82. Sitting right at 400. Big psychological level, obviously. Doesn't look great. That just looks like it's leaking out. And the big reason why we fail 399.82 looks like we're going to do this now. That last week was a reaction off of the bigger bat. Now we go for the type 2. That's a 4-hour SPY. I think it's on a wait. Yeah, it's on the 4-hour. And I think that probably makes sense as low as 396.40 to retest that. But this whole thing, for everything, has to hold. This pattern now, the 395 level, we might even pop a little bit below it, but what you're looking for on this retest is a type 2 bat that then sets you off into some kind of larger move for end of the quarter reaction. You are, let's see here, today's March 7. About 3 more weeks. So let's, we'll get to that. We'll get to some crypto stuff today. And If you guys have some things a little bit later, we'll get to that. You guys, some markets you want to look at. Let me run through quickly what we need to pay attention to. Nothing changes. Just want to highlight the fact that nothing changes on the daily time frame, which gave us last week a yellow dot down here after the reaction. First reaction off that ABCD looks like this from the terminal bar down at what the low is 392, and our bigger numbers are 398 with which is target one, maybe as low as 395, but you get the picture. And the true make or break, as we said just a few days ago, it looks like that. There's no room for further breakdown if you decide to take out the uptrend from October. Okay, then I'll deal with those at another time. I still feel that this type of situation for type 2 is the real make or break for the whole thing. So let's see what happens here. We could have a check back. If we break this 399.80 right now, trying to stabilize, and fail these 5-minute signals, that situation will unfold. But it's still chop, and the bigger debate, the bigger argument here, the more challenging kind of struggle between buyers and sellers is this weekly wedge, that whole weekly consolidation zone going back now October. That is just a remarkably tight range. And even, not only if we go like last 6 months, but just look at the static, obvious ranges, what everyone else is looking at. You go there, within the other range, within the low range support, it's pretty close, and I would dare to venture it's even tighter. 370 on the SPY is the moving support going to the right of this chart. What you're looking for is a monthly breakout above last month's high with a close above the high. So that has to be above 420. I know you guys like 420, but it has to be above 420. And from a harmonic perspective, a close above 425 seals the deal. We still have work to do, though. And this 407 area is your work. You got rejected a few times, but for today, okay. Let's just take this type 2 deep crab pattern. That's what it is. Within the constraints of the 1 and the 2. So you're here, you're bottoming right now, 399.82. It's a type 2 where you're really thinking 404. Not by today, but tomorrow. But the whole thing has to hold. And you literally just hit that about 20 minutes ago. So no worries. Let's quickly look at the Qs. And then I want to jump over to Tesla too, because we have some things there in Tesla we talked about yesterday with the gold members. We have a type 2 retest. The Qs, 5-minute. Okay, we have an HSI, not much. Not much. Look at the 4-hour. Okay, same bat structure, high level bat. Can you come back to 291 and then set it off with a type 2? That would be the ideal situation. So keep an eye on it, because look, HSI just triggered yesterday on the 4-hour chart. The other thing that I now would really pay attention to is the fact that HSI is at 50 and trending underneath as it's coming back for the retest. All right, look for acceleration. That's why any kind of a break under that last bar, 296, you can bump your stop up there. All right, nice little thrust here on SPY. Here you go. SPY coming back up. Now 401. All right, this just a 5-minute play. Just 5 minutes. And there's your 3 bar. Actually, you just had the 3 bar. There you go, folks. Just let's sit back and watch that thing come together. That's what we do. All right, that's what it should be doing here. And very clear, the hop level acting as support. Hold on. Let's see how fast this can get up there. The other thing to notice, something I've been pointing out to people in general, is about amplified RSI. This is our proprietary RSI indicator. We look for acceleration above the 50. You go 50 to 70, and you're in a zone. Clearly, the amplified showing consolidation. All right, but you break out of that 50, and not to mention you have a prior reading here. That's when you can get a good thrust. This is remarkable every day at this time, and I still keep my phone on. Anyway, working out pretty nice. Let's see if we can get, by the end of the session, at least to target 1. And you want to see at this point a continuation. You get out of the zone. You get that acceleration. Okay. You go to a 1 bar stop loss in a situation like that and ride it. Something else I've been trying to highlight, some of the in-between strategies or thoughts to be looking at after you get the requirements filled is look at your time in sales, or at least your time monitor here for each bar. 3 minutes, 255 to the next 5-minute bar. And this needs to stay bullish. It looks like it's going to get thumped, but that's a part of the in-between. It's one of the most challenging aspects of getting from execution to target 1. You're going to see a lot of volatility. You're going to see a lot of up and down, but you're focused on concrete, finite prior levels, support levels for clear stop. I mean, you get this kind of an action here sideways. This whole scenario depends on holding the hop. And so 399.75 is probably the stop. You don't go underneath there now. We jump into the next 5-minute bar, you literally go to a 1 bar stop loss. He had a question on amplified for the extreme retest. Because there was a complex reading. Yeah, there's a complex reading here. But you didn't even get to the 50 level to define that. There's a question that's saying, with this kind of a W structure here on amplified, pretty deep as well, wouldn't you look for a secondary retest and then go? Yeah, at a later time, though, with this, what's happening here and the action off of the zone, you're in an area structurally because you did the 1-2. Look, you did that. It was absolutely perfect for the first reaction. Maybe difficult to trade unless you're on a 1-minute chart. It's only hit the number and went to target 1 within 5 bars. Now you're back on the retest. It doesn't have to be a perfect situation, but if you have that RSI variable clearly coming out of the zone with HSI doing the same, you're there, worth a shot. I mean, the 3-bar breakout on just 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, is really the first sign out of that level. And what we were talking about in the Discord earlier was just, if you're going to speculate on options, right at the number, super tight management. Okay, beyond that, you get a 1 bar, 3-bar violation, you're out. You expect this to go serial bar over bar now, no matter what. If it doesn't, you scalp it out. And again, those were a few things I talked about yesterday with some of the members. That can be a frustrating experience, but over time you improve. Let's do it. All right, so we'll stay with that. Let's monitor. We just jumped into the next 5-minute bar right now. So again, that last 5-minute bar is green. Stop loss slightly under, let's say slightly under that that 5-minute bar. Your terminal bar is 483, probably under there as well. But this should be on a bar over bar march, and it doesn't have to be every candle need to be green. But if you do pause for a 5-minute time period, really shouldn't take out the prior low. We'll monitor that as today's situation. Couple more here that I want to highlight. Something that has been a little frustrating, I think, is something we had talked about as an idea, which is Snap way back, I guess, almost a month ago. And you're starting to now see this make a move, but it's a shark. And that shark pattern starting to try to expand through this zone. I want to look at Snap. And if we can't clear 13 really soon, that whole idea of Snap, it goes back to this weekly chart. It's probably done for now. I really want to see that break out immediately, because you're looking at a massive pattern on Snap, and now you're getting some good news. They take out TikTok. They should take out TikTok anyway, but if they take out TikTok, that's beneficial for other social media. Well, there's your type 1 shark pattern. I've mentioned that. This, again, is the 3 ideas, taking its time, but now making progress. You need to see this thing really clear 13 to get running. And Tesla, yeah, sure. Well, Tesla did the thing we talked about yesterday. Tesla's in a really interesting spot because we're trying to print an HSI this week. That's a weekly chart on the bat. We fell just shy of target 1, a really tough call. What we were talking about on Tesla was this on a 5-minute this morning. It failed. There you go. Wait, what did we have? A crab down there? What, that's a bat. But I know I had an ABCD off the top here. There it is. Okay, this is what we talked about yesterday. And it hit the ABCD perfectly at 186. And it's a type 2. This is something, I can share with everybody that yesterday we looked at that and said, all right, looks like Tesla wants to come back down all the way to 180, that ABCD. On the hourly, we had a 5-minute pattern that we were looking at, but that failed. And you kick it up to the higher time frame. Okay, we just got the dot as we started today's stream. But that's another one where if you're looking at Tesla, you're looking at these major stocks, if this market is going to keep going up, that has to hold. And so I'm more focused on trailing stops, bumping make or break limits now, and holding these lows than even making progress to the upside, if that makes sense. Dave's asking, what's my favorite idea in crypto right now? Bearish and bullish? I'll get to that in a couple minutes. Definitely. It's this SPY and a lot of these tech stocks have been kind of rolling over weak. And if it's the SPY or if it's Tesla with a trio of dots, HSI dots here, I find that interesting. All in the 220 area. And that's the weekly. 221 is, what did we get to? What was the high there? Tesla was 217.65. Target one was 221.26. We didn't hit it, but clear stalling behavior for now. And a 3-bar breakdown would seal the deal. At least even a retest of XA level if this is going to trigger this week. It's not official till Friday. Look, there's the line. It's coming out, but as I said, until Friday closes, that's not an official arrow. SPY's at 401.10 after that big little rush. Still off 35 on the day. And the rest of the markets, Tesla did bounce pretty hard off those lower levels, but on the 5-minute basis, getting overbought. here. Let's come back to that. A couple more that I've been talking about for a while that are very close. Stuff like Google, things to be looking at really to get deeper insights into what this market's going to do. Google's right there. 4 or 5 days ago, generated a yellow dot confirmation after the 1. This is a type 1 because it hits target 1 there, not there. But there's your dot. And that was 4 days ago, 5 days ago, and then the 3-bar breakout on, what was that, Wednesday? Monday, Friday, Thursday. Like that. That was big, and we've been saying 93, this XA level, 93.33, critical. What this might be is a tertiary retest of that zone with confirmation, which at least makes it a valid point. Now you want to see this continuation and go to 111 from here. Hey, what's up, Mitch? Mitch Ray's in the house. Mitch and I had a great dinner on Sunday night, great conversation. And I really appreciate it, man. It was, again, so glad you're here in Miami. I'll have to post that picture, or you could post that picture. I don't care. But we had a really good time, and we talked a lot about a lot of different things going on in the world, which we both agree on. And I really think that where we are with the markets, no matter what, if it's up or down, sideways, there's been a lot of sideways, never been a more important time to really get a handle on patterns, market movements, market measurements, aside from the crazy stories. Because there's a lot of things these stories can, ways that they can create a distortion. And it's intense, no doubt. But I'm sticking to the numbers as much as possible and trying to sometimes it's too dry just to communicate numbers or levels, but ultimately in the end, that's what gets us through times like these. So that's a big part of the community too, and why I do what I do, because if we can create a fantastic community where people are helping themselves. Mitch has got a community just like that, where literally giving people a university level degree on the markets and technical analysis that you can't get anywhere else. So, and it's mostly free. And that's why myself and Mitch would say, get your feet wet. If you're totally new, take advantage of all the free resources first and learn, but understand that this is a process, a learning process. So, that you're going to be doing the rest of your life. That's how the success is attained. It's not something like, hey, I'm going to come here, I want to learn your strategy so I can make X dollars and then I'm going to leave. We're talking about something a lot bigger. Financial freedom, yes, but skills that provide that, so you think for yourself in crazy environments like what's going on today in today's world. So that's it. But yeah, we had a great time. Absolutely. But Google, Alphabet, it's a 2 of 2. And you're retesting now, which is an even better position than back in this fall. Don't take your eyes off of that one. Don't take your eyes off of Amazon, the same deal. Amazon on your daily chart generated a dot. This is a little uglier because your hop level at 96 looks like it's a type 2 bat by definition. Got overrun a little bit, but I'm looking here, paying attention to that. You're still under the downtrend though. And so something like Amazon, if you see this go sideways for many more months at these levels, don't be surprised. This is the thing most people are looking at, just simple downtrend, saying, all right, Amazon's in a downtrend. It is, but you're oversold and you're sitting at major structural support. I'm looking. Couple more. No, yeah, I'll jump over. Hey, I wanted to show everyone. Here's an idea. And an example of type 1, type 2 is GameStop. So tell Wall Street Bets that you got major harmonic patterns there. It's a type 2 crab. 1766 is held. All right. I'm watching this and we're trying to check back. We might even get a dot in a few days, but there's confirmation 1766. Just take that little pattern, and this is a beautiful example. You go to target 2. You could think, all right, this is going to moon, it's GameStop. I would just stay within this framework. This whole framework helps you to really conceptualize the opportunity. People might say, oh, there's a harmonic pattern, so it's going to go to 50 or 100. Nope. Play it within the levels. Those are your objectives. We're looking for confirmation, which is that low at 1810 was almost hit this morning. Today was 11:15. So maybe still a little early. And that has a bigger pattern too. This bigger type 2 crab pattern. So you have a few things here. I mean, a really remarkable pattern into pattern. That's a kind of more speculative play, but that's the kind of thing we're looking for. Let me look at quickly. Let's look at crude oil and interest rates as well. But here's crude, folks. And on the weekly chart, it's a massive bat pattern that is stuck in the zone. And this week, trying to print a bearish HSI. So are we going to just stay in this zone for crude oil? There it is. Big down candle today. That's daily. You're out of the zone now. Another day or two down, and we're probably going to come back. Just stick within the zone between 72 and 78. Surprising though, with everything going on, but not there. It's just not there yet. Should have blasted off already. Palm tree, no. Wall Street Bets doesn't read charts; they read tweets. But it is remarkable how that phenomenon has taken shape. Pretty impressive stuff. I mean, at least it can. It's like they're really not much. Even despite all the hype about those guys, you think about the dollar value of a group. You take all of Wall Street Bets traders and you add up all their dollars, and it's still like a fraction of a penny of what J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs trades against them with. So, I wouldn't get too crazy with their power. I think it's more like a social media fad. No offense to them, but really interesting though how they could rally it. A lot of that used to be illegal. Let's go to really quick look at some of the major integrateds, things like Chevron. And it's a perfect type 2 on Chevron off the deep crab. And we've been talking about this. There's other things on the monthly as well. But we're trying to generate another HSI. So, that's almost counter to what the narrative is. Seems like the narrative is that the oil stock should be one of the best places to be right now, but it's not. Eventually there will be phenomenal opportunities here. And a lot of people know I'm starting to look at nat gas. Members know I'm starting to look at nat gas. I won't divulge that opportunity because I'll save it for the members, but I'm starting to look at nat gas again, even in spite of yesterday. Like yesterday is setting up to be a gift. But let's be patient on stuff like this. I mean, Chevron, there you go. Chevron's this weekly crab as well. Now, take a look. If this was any other stock or any other market, what would you say about this? Confirmation, yellow dot, HSI confirmation, 3-bar breakdown. Okay, 2 weeks ago, you get or 3 weeks ago, You follow through, you break any of this one bar, recent 1 week lows, that should start it off. I mean, this is looking real toppy up here. Not like I'm certainly not longing anything at that level. It's just probably going to take more time. Hate to say that, but yeah. And you're, just so you know, you're 50 plus weeks going sideways. Is that a potential dud, harmonic dud? Only if it breaks out above 185. 1 second, 1 second. All right, SPY's rolling over, folks, on the 5 minute, so I don't like it. You just generated a 5 minute HSI rate at a VWAP too. Remarkable. I'll circle back to that in a second. I want to look at that. I want to look at ExxonMobil on monthly. Sorry, no, it's XLE's the monthly. Yeah, let me go to the XLE. And this is probably better because it's a broader composite of all energy. There you go. If you want to be in a recession, okay, you're going to see oil really fall apart. That would be one way to know. We got a yellow dot a month ago. So we break down last month's low, that seals the deal. We're just pausing right here. Low end 82.79. Need to close underneath there. The 3 bar range, even, just so you know, under 81.81. XA level here is at 78. So you're still in the zone. Great example of delayed confirmation. Pausing up in here. You get one monthly bar that's a 3 bar breakdown. That seals the deal for the reaction. And then you go to target one. And that could be, look at it this way. It could happen under $81. You would be $12. What? $12 off of the high, and it's a signal? Yeah, it could. And then you go down 63. You could take a shot up here, but you've been waiting for 6 months. But if you really wanted to catch it, or even better, try to play it on a breakdown, an accelerated breakdown with options, which might be a great way to play that. It's under 81 to 63. Let me go to show you this as well. The other aspect of looking at amplified RSI, which is the bottom indicator, that just came out as well last month. Notice HSI is under the 50, and hitting the 50 alone is a first start. Breaking down and especially getting rejected under here, you break down further, which should happen with a red candle, you will see that acceleration. So crude oil does that. You'll see some pressure. On XLE, you'll see some pressure. You'll see these larger patterns play out finally after 6 months. So I'm not there yet. Those charts relate to mostly interest rates, which we talked about last month. And again, I want to revisit this, the 10-year yield, because, okay, everything I just said about crude oil, energy on the 10-year chart is happening on the 10-year chart, where you've registered, you got some dots up there, you're under the 50 line. Only thing yet to happen is amplified RSI is still in the overbought. But this is a type 2 shark on the monthly that a little bit overshot its level, but you have a few things. You have some back-to-back patterns. You have, it's a clear type 2. No, sorry, it's a type 1 on that, on the monthly. I want to look at the daily for the type 2. There's the daily. And this is the pattern we have talked about for a while. 406 is the resistance for now and was rejected without confirmation, but it structurally type 2 has been satisfied. I don't have any confirmation, any HSI up here except for this amplified reading. So I'm looking at the 406 level and this reaction over the next several days, because a close above 406, then interest rates will, as I said before, go into an acceleration phase. If we break down under, say, the 50 level here on amplified, then we're going to go sideways. And it won't be as bad as I think what a lot of people are fearing. Let's focus on the fear possibility, which everyone's fearing a major spike in rates, but that does not happen until above that 407 level. Consider it that way. Hold on one second, folks. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, we have on Friday we have that's non-farm payrolls, I think. Yeah, is that what you're saying? Well, I mean, the Powell thing today set it off, but it's more about the response or the reaction. I think part of what's happening currently in this crazy environment is there's a lot of kind of intermarket relations trying to be assigned to different things. If rates continue to go up, the market has to go down. Well, that's generally true, but not always true. I'm thinking more of where's the point where rates, the character in this move in rates at least settles down, or if it's truly going to accelerate, where does that happen? And you're brushing up against there. With the markets, we know the deal too. Hitting major resistance, trying to fight that downtrend breakout, but you're going to have several attempts before this stuff asserts itself. That's choppy trading. That's what it is. You hit choppier trading than a trending market, and that's something I think a lot of times people don't fully identify what their environment is. Dave is asking for higher definition in future streams. Yeah, you know what? I need to talk to some people about that. Is it not clear? You know what I could do? Let me know. It could be the screen, could be your screen, it's probably me. I mean, let me just blow up the chart. Mitch, I'll have to ask you for help on that if it is not super high def. Let me know. Anyway, what's up, Scotty? He says whether you're following a harmonic pattern or not, if you get a counter trend signal, get the hell out. Yeah, it's a warning signal. It's a warning signal. Now, something to consider. There you go. Let me go back to I'm going back to the 10-year chart, sorry. Something to consider about this daily. All right, we structurally hit 406 exactly. So that's important to recognize when that does happen. You get an immediate rejection off the levels. The 1 bar, that 1 bar, 2 bar move is telling you a great deal. And not being able to follow through that target 2 is actually a relief for now that interest rate spike scenario is not going to take shape. And that's what everyone's expecting too. A couple of you guys say 720 is good, but if you try to zoom in, it gets blurry. I think I need to make bigger charts too. Come back to that. 2-year yield. Important to look at this stuff. We haven't looked at this since last week, but that has broken out. Did that get above 5 again today on that push? 497, 498. And the weekly chart looks like this. What I'm thinking now, okay, and I said this before, that if we don't hold or we break out here, then we look at this whole 1618 extension from 2018 down to the low. That is just a pause. And even if we get a retest, we're going to go up a bit higher now. And that's, so there's a little bit more to glean from the 2-year, where we now have this zone of some overspill move. 1618 is the minimum, but we look at a 1902 as the top layer. I mean, 2-year yields yielding 5.5%. That's insane. And it was some, yeah. I mean, that's, if we got to there, even at 5%, that's something to consider. I mean, now you're getting above 5, where as an investment alternative, that really might be something. 2-year a lot stronger than the 10-year, for sure. But again, acceleration, if that's going to really get going, it's here and now. And you're overbought, expanding on the 2-year yield on your weekly. So that should be a bar over bar. I would expect this week have a strong close. Versus dollar index, which we probably haven't talked enough about currencies in general. But there's your dollar index on the weekly. Type 1 alternate bat to 106 already. Didn't this has something on the monthly? Something really big. Oh, there it is. So here's your monthly chart. Big, deep crab, or sorry, big regular crab. It's a type 2. Take a look. The initial completion all the way back in 2014. It took 4 years to get to target 1. That's amazing. Comes back in though. And we just got confirmation. What was that? November. Bearish confirmation on the dollar index. This should start it. You know, I mean, you look at all of those signals where the hop level at 105.52, that's your minimum structural resistance, but you're there and looking for, on this retest, some turnaround. Not to mention, I think everyone sees this, at least people that do harmonic levels. You know, there it is. 886 on the dot. I mean, the dot, 114.95. That's remarkable. Did we get a 382? No. Didn't get a 382 off of that yet. But watch this. Because even on a, you know, the 2-year yield's in an interesting spot. Meanwhile, dollars topping with a bearish pattern. Crude oil, XLE's got a bearish pattern. These other levels, I mean, it's an unusual situation. Usually those are inverted markets. But this is going to come back, maybe retest off of that daily pattern. You know, these are the reasons why next, I've been saying hours now. We're down to hours of looking at these markets for the major signs of which way are they going to break for the rest of the year. Which way are we going to go into the summer? We're going to break out. We're going to get out of the first quarter high and keep continuing or not. A lot here to look at. One other comment about a couple of these indices, European indices, because people have been talking about these as being breaking out to all-time new highs. Uh, these are patterns I'm paying attention to. What do we got? Butterfly. Monthly charts, too. This is UK 100, folks. Target 1. We came back down. Okay, we're 79.12 with the hop is at 81.36, and that is the maximum area you want to see. That's UK market, folks. Printing a couple of big patterns on the monthly chart, and same with EWG. I tell you what, if the United States had patterns like that, I'd be concerned. Here's EWG, German fund. Where's daily? There you go. Shark pattern at the moment. Maybe a little bit higher because of the bullish confirmation. We've gone sideways, but 30 bucks even. Let's see what this does. You know, we're seeing major markets hit major levels now. Angel's asking rookie question. So when DXY goes up, the stock market goes down. Sometimes, a lot of times it should be intuitively, but there's been a lot of times also when dollar goes up, markets go up in the 90s. So right now it seems to be an inverted relationship. I'm more focused on how these react out of these zones with all the major patterns. You know, crude oil, XLE stocks are usually the last ones to show that. Interest rates, major markets, because I think the things like the SPY and the Qs, they all have really tight support levels now, make or break support levels. You're not going to have to wait to see if this breaks new lows to know if it's you got a problem or not. Right now, I say just trade like the 30-day ranges and stay within those 30-day levels. That's it. Because we're chopping hard and we're trying to bang against major long-term resistance. So we get big moves 1 or 2 days either way. Expect counter trend reactions. There's a lot of them going on. I mean, Tesla's it. I mean, Tesla is on a longer term basis over the last year and a half shows you the type of sharp reactions that can take shape. Now that we've spent good almost 30 days up here trying to roll over, what's at stake on the weekly for Tesla is similar to a lot of patterns like this. Oh, you know what? Meta. Really quick, before I go to crypto, here's Meta. Again, getting some good press. We're at right back at that 172 level. It's trying to be support going forward, but we have now a counter trend HSI. Could not blast through to get to target 1 at 242. So I'm watching that. I wouldn't be surprised at a minimum we go into a pause here. You're 185. We get at least one more retest back into the zone. And look, HSI is clearly out and checked back. I mean, you checked back last week. You are 2 bearish weeks away from getting a dot, but that pretty much caps the possibility of the upside for now. That long-term pattern is going to contain it, and the way to see it is that when you hit that level and you're coming out of the zone at 172, you blasted through, no follow through. 5 weeks later, you're still sideways. More time. I wouldn't be looking for longs on Meta just yet. You know, other than a 5-minute situation, you're not going to get like the major moves that you had into earnings. Couple of more. SPY's rolled over. So SPY's not going to do anything today. Not with this kind of rollover here. And we'll probably need to go lower again. Let's just revisit that before we get out of here. Come on, where'd you go? Yep. Take a look. All right, we have this counter HSI signal on a 5-minute basis, and that's capping it. It's capping the whole thing. I still don't know where. Oh, I must have deselected something. Hold on. No. Let me bring that up. Hold on. All right, there's SPY. Um, Here's the big deal on SPY also, because we had a yellow dot yesterday, we have a couple of those smaller patterns on the 4-hour. There you go. The 4-hour time frame down to 396.40 structurally would have to be it. Meanwhile, you've got this on the daily that maybe you come back to 398, but I can't stress how tight this is now. This is even tighter than last week. And you're looking at not failing a 3-bar range. Your 3-bar range really is down here, but your dot range and this yellow dot, once go through and look at the dots in past examples, that they really should not be taken out once they've been published. Things like that, or the one from December down there, really tight. The one from October, you see how at best they give you reaction. That was a reaction. That was a failure. That one, this yellow dot, really tough call. I mean, a shakeout, if you will, but regardless, you should not violate once you form it. And then you can even narrow that down to say, in most cases, look, once that yellow dot forms, you've got a 3-5 bar window where the takeoff, the anticipated move should occur. If that's 2 days ago, you got 3 more days to do something off of that signal. Let's see. All right, really quick. Let's jump to crypto. Let's start with the total index. Now under $1 trillion, mostly because Bitcoin took that hit the other day. And target one, we said last week, 934. That's still in play. I mean, that's still, you're not doing anything here other than you're not mooning. So if you're not mooning, you're going to pay for movements. You're going to have to go through your typical acceleration, consolidation, continuation, or acceleration, correction, consolidation. Back in consolidation, that 934 billion is nothing for that retracement. Not too concerned. Total 3, which really represents the ST coin world of crypto, is in a type 1 off the bat pattern. 358. No follow through off of, take a look, really you're at the 886 off of November. Could not make a higher high. That's kind of disappointing, actually. And you're at target 1. No HSI yet, no amplified, so we might even see target 2 before we get a bullish reading. But crypto 3 has been one we have followed for a while because of all the back-to-back. I mean, look, we know there's a massive crab pattern, and it's just longer term going sideways in that 300, call it 330 billion, about 10% lower from where you are. If you have another retest there, great. It's just you're dealing with a bearish pattern again. You can look at things like, let's go to the top 5 now, because is Bitcoin going to go into the return phase? Slowly but surely, depending on your feed, but most of the charts that the software is kicking out is a shark, which makes this target at 2030 368 likely. A couple of dots down here also, maybe come back for another retest, but it's a slow slug. 368 though, not a surprise. And if you were going to be a moon phase, you would have exploded through there, but you didn't. 30 days later, after challenging that level, you're down, headed for target 1. Okay. My guess, and again, I don't want to jump on really say I'm using astrology or anything, but the whole equinox phenomenon, spring, March 21, June 21, September 21, has consistently led to some kind of inflection low. Or inflection generally, the last several times it's been a low. Here. Where is it? There's the 21st of September. There's the 21st of December. And 21st of June is there. You get what I'm saying? And so why not? Come on down 2 more weeks. Just within the framework. Just set your expectation that we're in a reaction. Go to target 1. I think that helps clarify the overall outlook. Yes, you could go lower potentially, but this is how you can define it, that this correction phase is just come back for a minimum pullback. We get confirmation down there. Okay, we'll handle it. But for now, that's in control. That shark pattern's in control of this larger consolidation zone. One other little hidden gem, though, don't miss sight of the fact that the 1618 of the bullish crab, which is really where this started, this consolidation started, is 21,400. So you go back and test that again, not a surprise. And big moon phase, you really want to explode and see Bitcoin move, not until you're above 25.3 or with the shark pattern, it's above 26.5. And I mean long term. For a long time. I've got a little Bitcoin still. Okay, I haven't added anything. It's not a lot. It's a few $1,000. It's not even a whole Bitcoin. I've been out mostly. I haven't really owned more than a Bitcoin in a year and a half. But I will if we get above 25.5 or 26,000 for the full 382 to 38. A lot of Bitcoin maximalists are happy to go through all of this consolidation, go to 16, up to 25, back to 20, whatever it is that we do. I'll wait for the proper setup, proper 1-2, either breakout or bullish type 2 pattern. KZ's asking, what about the yellow dot on Bitcoin? I agree. There you go. It's a great starting point, and it's been a great tool for this long-term bull market. What is the yellow dot? The yellow dot is the complement, the confirmation to the HSI indicator. And it represents the HSI indicator. It represents a retest of that signal with 2 candles that agree with the signal, 2 bullish candles and a bullish signal. Or look at the top here. HSI dot went in right at the top. And you even had a secondary signal with both of those. When you see that, that's a critical level. I mean, no doubt. Here, where we are now, your first dot just happened, came in back in January. First dot, and it was barely bullish. But one of the things to look at with Bitcoin as well and monitor on these longer term charts, can HSI stay above 50 and keep going? Can amplified RSI, if you're looking for that acceleration phase, it won't come until these readings can firmly get above 50, amplified most notably. We've seen that. Look at the last couple of dots and I'll show you. Walk through this. I encourage you, just, no patterns, just look at dots for now. Bullish dots on crypto. Here it is, yellow dot all the way back in 2015. There was the signal, but you didn't get the big move until amplified went above 50 like that, which was, really a month, 2 months later. You're not there yet. Yellow dot on, oops, sorry. What's going on? Yellow dot that came in on Bitcoin March 2019, okay, didn't really get going until amplified followed through there. It's an important side indicator to monitor, but definitely helpful to understand where real acceleration can take place. And this is a bit lower. You have a lot of the same signals. Also notice that even after your dots, how many bars? A lot of bars before you really started breaking out on that signal from 2015 to where you really started breaking out to all-time new highs for that move or really accelerate. 15, 20 months. Look at the example from 2018, just so you know. Where did you really break out or get going? 15, 20 months or month 2. So if you're going to be in that range for a while, understand where you are. And development is exactly, Dalton. Great. That is the best way to say it. Dalton says, let it cook. So funny, Dalton. I just saw Roadhouse for about the 80th time this weekend. I somehow got on to Roadhouse movie with Patrick Swayze. Dalton. But perfect. Let it cook. Let it cook. And what that means for Bitcoin is, for now, 25 on the top, 20 is the bottom. And don't be surprised that it does that. You guys know Roadhouse? I mean, even that, I don't think that's that old of a movie, but I guess it is now. If you know Roadhouse, so funny. Roadhouse. Anyway, that's number 1. Number 2, Ethereum. More patterns than on Ethereum than any other market. No dot. Check it out. A lot of tight consolidation, but it's all because of the daily time frame. There's Ethereum. Sideways in that bat zone. I'm amazed it's held its head like this. What you really want is that to continue. If you're bullish on Ethereum, you're going to want to look for that oversold. I do. I think I need to bring a little production value into the show with some sound effects and some more music. I'm considering many things, one step at a time. Ethereum, though, I will say 1405 is structurally what you want. There's the dot from back in January. Incredibly, it's capped the rally, but no follow through. We could come down, trigger this at least on HSI, but you're several days away. You are several days away. You want this to hold. You don't want to take out the prior low. Looks like it's going to get there, 1405. But we're back to back. Don't forget this, okay? That the other aspect of Ethereum being in a major crab pattern, that 1280 is a huge number. You can't rally, and you've done this wedge. I should just turn off the patterns and just look at stuff like this. Ever tightening wedge here. You break it down, you go back and retest the larger crab pattern. That's what's at stake. I just think it's going to take, it's just a slow mover, not trading on a heck of a lot, not a lot of sellers really, but in that consolidation zone, you could bounce between those two levels and it be nothing. With an ultimate eventual breakout move where even off of this pattern, despite the action you see, if it comes back at a lower level, at some point we're still waiting for target one. We're not even at target one. And Ethereum has done this before. Weekly patterns. Where's the Gartley? Where's the Binance Gartley? There you go. The big bat pattern there. Beautiful pattern, still took a long time. My point is that a lot of these patterns, daily or weekly, have these delayed reactions. There's a bat, bullish bat on that. I'm getting pinged. Couple more. So that's number two. Number three, Binance Coin. And you guys know I don't like Binance Coin either. I'm liking it less and less, actually. We do have an HSI. We were trying to yesterday where I was looking at this, and it was trying to signal. It's not out of the zone yet, but the levels really haven't changed on Binance Coin, and they still don't. 310 on the top side, maybe 250 as support, and that's not going anywhere. Not yet. Indicators are trying to come out of the oversold now. So you're a ways before that even pivots back up. BNB is dead, says Red Nozar. Maybe. Look, this crypto space changes. Every few years, 3-5 years, it seems like you're circulating that entire top 10 list, or most of it. Okay, number 4. We've changed our list around where we were going XRP. And, all the talk about Gensler, and there's you're hearing a lot of narrative right now on this lawsuit. This lawsuit holds an enormous amount of significance for all crypto, but for XRP specifically, we know the deal. You're somewhere here in 30-cent land, whether it's 30 or it's 35 cents, 37, depending on the pattern, the time frame. Daily is like 34. Weekly is this massive 37-cent XA886, which I think you're there right now. I mean, you're exactly there, 37.4 cents. You're 37.7. But the takeaway is that every time you bang against that XA level, whether it's 35 or 37 cents or even 33 cents, you pop back up. Confirmation is all the way over here at 31, 32, and then the reason why this isn't doing anything is you ran into a counter HSI. You are to the right of the downtrend. I do think the catalyst is whenever they finally come out and announce it, but that could be after Biden's out of the office. So, these guys aren't, it's part of the plan. They don't want to do anything. They're not in any kind of a rush to make this happen, obviously. Number 5. What should number 5, we've changed this around a few times. Number 5 should be something different. Maybe number 5 is Cardano, and I'll tell you why. Not because I like it or I think it's a special project, but it's a major, well-known crypto, nerd fandom community. No offense to the nerds, but I'm a nerd for harmonic patterns, so I can be a nerd too. I'm a nerd for looking at crypto patterns. I'm not a nerd for crypto. In fact, I think a few of you know what I think should be done with some of these crypto nerds. Take them out back and, settle things the old-fashioned way. But that's not going to happen. What we can look for and why I'm looking at Cardano is that it's a type 2. Beautiful deep crab that type 1 is over. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. You come back to 28.3 minimum structural retest to satisfy that type 2, then maybe things can happen, but not until you get there. There's a few of those. It's just by definition kind of an automatic framework of the way that we should expect not only static support resistance levels to be retested. I mean, that's a classic technical idea that you have an inflection, you have a secondary test to validate that inflection. But for patterns, it's satisfy the pattern zone, hit the first target, then come back and retest that zone, where if you're really looking for the big move in whatever you're trading, but if you're looking for that big home run trade, we see it on the retest on the type 2. And that's why I'm looking down there. Until then, we'll make that number 5 because it's a great example of harmonic patterns at work. Here's a couple more. Some of the ones we have followed through for a while. Again, great one, Chili's. And I said this probably is going to come back and retest maybe 11.5, XA level around 11.2. We did nothing on the first thrust, and that's what it is. It's a first thrust. And we're going to need another point to confirm down here on the retest. Your XA level off of that crab is kind of like Cardano, just taking a lot longer time frame. Is likely to get hit again, 11.2 cents. That's a cent lower. So if you're in there and you're going to hold on, okay, be warned that that's a possibility and that this won't trigger again until we get HSI oversold. That is a lot like compound, but I like compound. And I like compound on this retest now. Compound rolling over, type 1 reaction on the Gartley is done. But I'm looking for the next move to 35.72. Why? Because you've got extension pattern, big, beautiful crab pattern down at the low. Then you have a retracement pattern in that zone. This is definitely delayed development, but the 2 of 2 is where, again, things can happen. It's just that pattern confirmation within the larger zone. It's still a target type 1 to 84.83, but that's it. I mean, not that that's just not much. I mean, that's a hell of a move from we get to 35 to 84. But it doesn't happen until you confirm that low one more time. Justin with H-bar, perfect. You're back down. H-bar is another one we've talked about. Beautiful pattern, and I said last week, likely to come back and retest that the crab here. Oh, yeah, there's a crab there. And what else is here? There's a few things, crazy hop levels, 5 to 8 cents generally, but I would favor more like the 5.3 cents level. But this is a weekly. Isn't this? This is a weekly. Hold on. There you go. It's a weekly bat. I knew that was it. Another one taking time. And the bat pattern, the XA level is 9. You're underneath there. Confirmation was like, again, around 6. So I think it's another shot coming where 5.5 cents, 6 cents makes sense. That makes sense. That's like another new one I introduced. And this, I will have Claire asked me last time when I'm going to do the 3 ideas very soon, probably the next day or two, because we are now at situations like this for a lot of these type 2s. It'll be Cardano. It'll be things like ICP. Where's ICP on the weekly? It's, sorry, it's a daily. There you go. Back-to-back patterns, but we're here right at 555 right now. And we have an HSI test. So let me blow this up, you guys, especially in that low resolution. You're not going to see it. There you go. The clear zone, even though a little bit sloppy, is like this. That's the low end at 440. But high end is 555. So we're in here. We're looking for dots in here. Think of it that way. Try to make it easier. Structurally, that's your zone. 550 is the minimum. And HSI triggered just a few days ago. You are literally, you need a bullish candle today and a bullish candle tomorrow. You'll print a dot. And maybe that's when we get another launch off the retest of the zone. One of the reasons why I think this shark, it almost failed the first time, okay, is we got well above it. But take a look off the bat. We finally got the target 1 hit. That's how we know. It's critical to understand that that target 1 at 713, you finally got off that zone. First time you hit the target. So then we come back down. All right, get back over here. Structurally, we just hit. And we have a HSI arrow here. Okay, you wait for maybe till tomorrow. I'm in this probably a little bit early, around 540. And I'll maybe add if I get a yellow dot and a 3-bar breakout. But there's few of those, a couple more. The ones that I'm really focused on because of their patterns. And if we get this back end retest here, understand that your first thrust is over. Some have done a lot better than others, but you got like V chain here with the massive bat pattern. Sorry, let me clean this up. There it is. Like that. And the terminal bar and all your pattern numbers, the low end is around 2.3 cents. So you had a thrust to 3 and you came back down. That's good. That's good. You know, somewhere in this 2-cent area on V chain, you're trying to play it against the big 886, which is the way to think about that 886 number. It's just the end of the cycle. Bear market's over. But just because the bear market's over doesn't mean you're going to straight up moon. You have to go through phases of changes to put yourself in the position so that you can do the desired move that everybody wants. Everybody wants the immediate 5x, 10x, but it doesn't happen that way, and that's why you're taking your time. Who said Zcash? Cactus Leo. What's up, Cactus Leo? I knew a Cactus Leo one time, and you wouldn't believe who he was related to. I should save that for a story. I should have my friend John tell that story of who Cactus Leo is. My wife knows, and she's scared of the guy and never met him. Anyway, Zcash type 2, and it's there. What I like about it is you have the crab pattern. We've talked about this one in terms of the privacy coins doing this kind of a thing after completing in November, sideways for 2 months, and now you go to target 1, come back down. Let me really blow this up so everyone can see Zcash. Zcash confirmed with HSI yesterday. There's the arrow. Sorry, let me make that brighter. Yeah, let me just highlight that. Let me highlight both of them. Make them brighter. There you go. Ah, come on. What happened here? Hold on. Why isn't that changing? You guys can't see that. I don't know why that's not changing color. I'll come back to this. Maybe I need to increase it like that. Yeah, there you go. Went the wrong way. We're in the midst of a check back. Structurally, you have a few different things here, but your XA level is 34.84. That's a big number. This might leak down a couple more days and then hit your XA level, maybe give you a dot at 34, but that's where you're looking for it. That's where you're looking for Zcash, and that is the prime example for all of these. Who had Monero? Because Monero done a lot better than, I mean, it was a heck of a move. Remember Monero's, the bat pattern? Weekly, I think there's a big butterfly here. Yeah, there is. Check it out. It's been a while. This is a type 2. Monero is a lot stronger than those other privacy coins that have gotten crushed. I mean, Monero really if it was going to do a 90% correction, that would put it around 50 or 40 bucks. You're still at 100. So one of the stronger privacy coins. There goes my arrows again. Hold on. Let me show you this just to make it brighter. There you go. There's the red arrows here. XA level on the weekly is at 135, and if you get another retest, it would be the fourth one in a year, and the last three have held. Even at 135, look, 135 bounce, 135 bounce, 135 bounce, even though it went to 111, but at 135 you start paying attention. I like that. I mean, this is a beautiful example of type 2 behavior. Pattern confirmed, but we know it takes longer. Those type 2s, they just take longer. There's the most generous of trend lines. You just broke out back in January. So let's get a bullish signal to the right of that downtrend like the other ones. Very close. You want to see that. I've been saying that you want to see the retest on a lot of these to set it off, or at least put you in the position to set it off. And with Bitcoin halving coming up a year from very soon, you'll get some narrative to build. Couple more. Here's ETC, Ethereum Classic. Another one that is a big butterfly. Where'd you go? Sorry. There it is. So it was, a bat ran into the little crab here, coming back into the zone, but the weekly chart looks like this. I mean, can you break out to the right of there? You did print some HSI recently, so you're going to go back and retest a lot of these patterns. Go back and hit the XA level. That's 17. You're at 19 and change right now. It's just where it is. SPY breaking down. Yeah, SPY's new lows for the day on SPY. SPY could really be entering into that type 2. I'll circle back on that and wrap up with that in a second. I just want to finish up crypto. Some of your favorite AI stuff that really ran, I'd watch out on these. Here's Fetch AI. And this is probably the poster child for all of those types that truly did pop off. All right, trying to print a yellow dot this week, and you hit target one, gone sideways for 5 weeks, and now trying to roll over. That's not what you want to see if something's going to truly moon. Beware. Those are early signals. We could really make that even tighter. And as most of you know, I like to say, what's the last 3-bar move? And a 3-bar breakdown, yeah, that's under 36. That would be really bad. Or maybe if what you do is you just do an inside bar again this week and then break down next week, but you're getting away from the downtrend. Or sorry, you're breaking down under that reaction uptrend. And I would look at that as saying, okay, go back to a type 2 from here. The risk now is the breakdown. It's not missing out on a continuation or a FOMO of anything. The risk is, if you understand the framework, you're looking at that. You have to say reaction target satisfied, confirmation is in there, and then where's the obvious retest of that weekly pattern? It's back at 17. Yeah. INJ, I think we talked about that and similar. That's another one of those. Oh, I didn't want to, hold on. I didn't want to compare it. I just want to replace it. I think this is just like a lot of those. This is on daily. There's a pattern down here all the way at the low. Yeah, crazy Gartley. I mean, that was a type 2 Gartley. That's actually the type 2 Gartley here. It's tough to see because you back-to-back patterns. Oh, wait a minute. I know what it was. It was that. But here, target 1, back down, and then target 2. You did that dance. Yeah, you did that dance off the Gartley. I think this is more like a trend line deal. I'm not liking that. Listen, crypto, we know how crypto goes. If it can't hold a trend line, it's going to go through a deeper correction. And that's likely what's going on there. I think, let me just double check. That might be a weekly chart, a weekly setup on the correct data feed. I'll come back to that. It's still undeniable with the breakdown, you know, that this is just kind of leaking lower. And, you know, here's another one that I've mentioned previously that did a type 1 reaction. I think we were looking at this at 7.4 cents as target 1. This Jasmine, yeah, there you go. Now it's back in a position where I'm paying attention. So you had that hop level, everything, overshoot, sell into the end of the year, but you went to this 786, okay, 0.786 cents, and then got rejected back down to after you broke the trend line, which is where a lot of these are now. This is interesting because a lot of the ones that pop real hard, like Fetch AI, are here, and they need to retest. 5.4, excuse me, 0.54 cents, an area I'm looking for. You got a yellow dot on 2 days ago. Sorry, yeah, 2 days ago. Let me blow it up. Here's where the confirmation is and why. HSI generated here, but remember, check back, and then we need 2 green candles if it's bullish. 1, and there's a second. That lines up with the prior zone, so good stuff. You know, somewhere around maybe half a cent, if you could get it there, where we are, and what's amplified has not triggered yet. So probably early because it just happened. The other thing I would look for is HSI to get to at least the 50 point. For that to really have anything then behind it, it could do more. But it's early. I would look at it. And a lot of these that are on the retest level, I would look at them closely. Just monitor this. Wow. Okay. Now that's really rolling over. SPY at new lows of the day, 399. Let me jump back there. I think we covered crypto well. I think we're going to do more on Thursday, but let's get to the macro deal. And the SPY, as I've been saying for a long time, the SPY is the macro. The SPY is the one chart that if you want to really get an understanding of where the major markets are going to go, it's going to be reflected in the SPY and the patterns the SPY prints. So 5-minute chart failed that crab pattern we talked about. There you go. Under the hop. And we started the session saying, look, counter trend HSI signal. Capped it for now. Well, really capped it. If you're looking for something down here, you're already too far below that level. And you would still need 2 5-minute green candles. There's no position there. Nothing yet. Off of that potential opportunity. I'm more back to your daily chart. Okay, the 398, the retest of that hop level, or sorry, the 4-hour. There you go. This bat pattern's going into a type 2, and that gets you to 396. Wow, I was buying those 400 puts for 50 cents this morning. They're now 153. Amazing. But that's fine. Again, with the options, folks, if you're day trading options and your option contract doubles, you take it off. There's no hesitation, and you don't care. For this week, and we'll come back Thursday, we'll be down at 396. Do we go all the way to the hop at 390? Where's confirmation? Almost coming in, but still down on a 4-hour chart. That puts a fairly aggressive pressure for the rest of the day on this market. 396.40 now this week to finish the type 2, and then the whole thing, everything you want to see, how we're going to be looking at this going into the summer is about to come to fruition. And I said last week, let's bump stops to like 378, 380. I would say now 390 on the SPY. Really should not be breaking down under 390, or we're going to have something. We will break that uptrend line from October. For now, I'm looking at retest that, confirm it, and get some progress in the other direction. You've got the obvious, you got the obvious situation with Powell talking. You got Friday's numbers coming out too. So at least after the last few days of not much to trade on, here we have things to trade on. And the daily, I mean, this is probably the biggest convergence area on the daily, weekly time frame that I've seen in years. Certainly since the whole bull market started. And the final point on all of this, just so people know what everyone else is looking at, I'll take off the patterns again. Everyone's looking at this moving average situation, which is a 200-day moving average. We have harmonic confirmation. We've got some harmonic patterns here. The 390 level, all of that wants to come back. Fine, come back. Kiss that level, but has to hold. Has to hold. That's why on this next test, it's good to see patterns there in the 390 whatever level, because you want that retest on a 4-hour. You want those higher levels to hold, and then it's a real easy determination. There's the make or break level, and we'll know. You break down through, we'll play that acceleration. I'll play that. Conversely, we get through this consolidation, and it probably gets you to the end of the month. you come back and you kiss that, and then you bounce, well, that's it. I mean, there is this test here with the 200-day is what everyone's looking at. They'll probably try to sell it, but with the harmonic patterns, and we already have confirmation on the daily there that I'm looking for that to hold. I'm looking for those patterns at that 390 level on the 4-hour. There you go. There you go. Retest that, but hold that. Daily time frame, again, this is the other harmonic consideration. We're in a reaction phase. We got confirmation. Note that exactly target one is 398.75, but and could be retesting that. But this area, okay, you have the signals, you have 200-day moving average, is just a reaction, and you should go for the retest before a larger bearish possibility can be considered. But it's close. Okay, that's why we're down to hours. This week is the hours week. We'll take it from Thursday. All right, that's enough for me. Folks, go kick some major ass today. All right, get into what we're talking about. You know, I don't do this. I think my final thing is people have to understand why I'm here and why I'm doing this. All right, I make stuff available for free. I'm here to help traders, but you have to be willing to do the work. And there's people I'm communicating with right now who know exactly what I'm saying, that I talk to them a couple times a week personally. Maybe they subscribe, maybe they're free members. If you need some help, don't be afraid to reach out to me or one of the moderators, but it's up to you to get on the Discord, to get on with the free trials, all right, and do the screen time necessary to understand what we're talking about, because once it then clicks for you, that strategy skill set is with you forever. And that's, you know, what you do with it is up to you, but that's the objective here. All right, come on back on Thursday, and between now and then, get on the Discord. Okay, over here, get on the Discord. You have any questions, reach out to anybody there, and let's build this community from here. Until then, folks, we'll see you Thursday, 12 noon. Go get them.